All right,
That's not a good look.
I'm getting upset, which means I think I'm ready for the show.
That sounds about right.
You look great today, Nick.
Thanks, you too.
Just got to get triggered.
I mean, Nick, if you want to do that, you could just talk to me about EA or
wait on it.
Or how I play Sea of Thieves wrong, or just talk to me about grenade launchers and Destiny.
You play Sea of Thieves right. I try to play passively. I don't like conflict. You play the game proper. I'm admitting it now. Fair. Also, eat shit and die whenever you want to bring that up.
Sounds fair.
It's amazing because
Welcome back to another episode of Casual Master Quest. I'm your host for the episode, Nick, and I'm joined by my beautiful, lovely co-host, Tyler. This is episode 53, and it's going to be a big one.
Yes. As the Dungeon Master dictates, we're going to have a fun time. Lots of stuff to talk about. For us, this is technically pre-E3, but we're getting ready to jump right into where we're in the waiting pool. That is, the Olympic pool is next week.
Yes, this is the E3 waiting lobby, but we already have some E3 news to break to you, followed by by a lot of news, and as promised, Pokemon Week number 2, which we will get to at some point, I hope, within good, reasonable time. But before we start talking about all that, Tyler, how's your week been?
Doing pretty good. Nick has been red rocketing over Pokemon, but I've been pretty chill with this week. When it comes to the stuff to talk about that isn't video game related, I'm scared to report, Nick, but honestly, I don't think I have that much going on. It's kind of scary. I went to see the John Wick 3 movie. That was pretty cool.
Yay.
I had to force myself to Google Parabellum to understand what it was because there was not a single mention of it that I was aware of. Maybe it was just a word I was supposed to understand that it means like a small gun or a machine gun. But,
it was mentioned right at the end.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Cool. Fantastic. All I saw was Fishner, looking like the motherfucker he was, and
Parabellum is Latin for prepare for war.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah,
that sounds about right, huh?
And that was mentioned right at the end too, with one of the more I think it was the final action sequence.
It was weird because my wife didn't know how to feel about the movie, and so after she watched it even. And she's like, was that a good movie? And I was like, well, honey, maybe I should have told you this. But when I went in to look at John Wick 3 and watch it and enjoy it, I told myself that I was going to watch bullet porn. And lo and behold, the angel that is Keanu Reeves with his 6 machine gun wings comes floating and says, blessed you, my child. I shall give you the bullet porn you desire. And there was a lot of bullets. So, I mean, it's like I got exactly what I was expecting. So it's like, I don't know what else.
It's like Bayonetta, but live action, but with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's just bullet time all the time.
Who wins, John Wick or Bayonetta?
John Wick.
Ooh.
Well, okay.
Really?
If Bayonetta does something to injure a dog in any kind of way, then John Wick. Otherwise, I don't know. I feel like John Wick would just cut through all the bullshit that is all of her witchy powers. She'd just be there dancing and summoning all of these things, and he'd just shoot her in the head and kill her. That
is fair. That is actually very fair. I don't think Bayonetta would kill a normal dog, especially his dog that's just sitting there like they're staring at each other in the hotel lobby, and the dog's just sitting there in the corner pissing on the couch, and Bayonetta's like and shoot. No, I don't think that would happen. I feel like what would fucking happen, it would be upsetting, is she gets in her weird gun pose that is over suggestive, and he would be hiding behind a pillar, and then like Russian angels, I guess whatever the mixture equivalent would be of Bayonetta and John Wick enemies, would just come pouring in through the window, and they'd be forced to fight together.
That would make more sense.
I would love to see them fight, but plot points, it just feels like that would happen instead.
That's true.
Very unfortunate.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. John Wick.
You just did something else, which I would consider would make it into your weekly summary.
What's that?
You just made a purchase.
Oh shit! Yes, I did. So we're gonna be talking about the games we played this week, Nick, but one of the games I mentioned before was Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a very good game. But the important problem with that is I'm suffering from burnout. I'm currently climbing out of it by playing Horizon. My PlayStation 4 keeps spitting out the disc. I've talked about this problem before. It's a standard, the initial release PlayStation 4. It's over 7 years old. It has seen its time. It's, served its worth. I didn't get it in 2012, but I know it's one of the original ones that came out there. And, it's lasted a very good life, and it served me very well. It's currently on its way out. It's not, it's showing like the signs, like the check engine light on it has popped on. Everything's still running fine, but it's clear that it's going out. And with the disc, randomly spinning out every now and then, forcing me to lose progress on a game that I was playing, that can be frustrating, very frustrating. Sometimes, I'll just be walking by, or, I'll be sleeping, and all of a sudden I just hear my PlayStation 4 losing its shit. It turns itself on because it thinks I'm trying to eject the disc. And it just starts going dee because there's no disc in it. After it spits it out the first time, it'll just start spamming that, at 2:00 in the morning, something like that. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And yeah, something happened, Nick. Sony is offering a lot of sweet deals right now. I guess Xbox is doing it as well, but Sony is launching a pre-E3 deal right now where it's gonna be $349 versus the $399 for the PlayStation 4 Pro, as well as PlayStation Slim, a new version of it's coming out, just regular version for $300. And I might have just bought myself a PlayStation 4 Pro. Nice. I know that's exactly what you wanted, and I had to give like a 5-minute explanation to what just happened there, but I fucking did it. That's exactly what I did. I bought a PlayStation 4 Pro, my PS4. Like, I had to validate myself in order to make the purchase, because it just feels weird going from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 4 Pro, because PlayStation 5 is, in the next couple of years. Why would you buy a new version of the console that you already have? I was never that kind of person. If I bought an Xbox 360, I would never have gotten the Xbox 360 Elite. If I have the Game Boy Advance, I'm not going to buy the Game Boy Advance XP. The only
Xbox 360 Elite, is that a new console we've never heard of?
Are you trying to make this into Xbox's mythical console here?
The 360 Elite never existed, Tyler.
What do you? Don't fuck with me on this. I can't tell. Roll for deception.
Xbox 360 bottles.
Wait, have you never heard of the Xbox 360 Elite?
I might not have, actually.
It's a legitimate console model. It was like the premium of the crap. Nice matted black.
Interesting. I didn't realize. Okay, no, that's my bad then. I had the S.
I thought you were trying to Wii U me or something here.
No, I had the S, the Xbox 360 S.
No,
and I thought that was the last line of models. So that's my bad there.
No, it's okay. Back in the day, it was mid-cycle, if you will. It was it was their way of saying, hey, this is their Pro, Elite version, even though it didn't really have incredible updates or anything like that in comparison to, say, the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. There's a very clear difference in firepower, but this is normal. Yeah, that's what I got back in the day. Anyhow, I was gonna say the only exception that I can think of where I would buy an upgrade was 3DS or the DS series in general, because I did go from the shit brick, the original DS to a DS Lite, because it was nice.
Yeah, no, and I think I align with you there. As like a reasonable consumer, I'll upgrade when I need to upgrade, not just because I want to. Right? If the console or the platform that I currently have can support the games that are coming out with pretty decent performance, then okay. But the moment I start experiencing heavy frame drops just because my technology's not up to par, that's when I start to consider upgrading.
Absolutely. I have a 4K TV. My PlayStation 4 currently, is dusty the hell and back. It's starting to malfunction, and it's affecting my gameplay when I know I can have a more optimal experience. And I'm wanting to play a game that can only be played on the PlayStation 4, which has features to give it an improved gameplay if I get the newer version. And so it's like, do I want to play this on my 2012 laptop, or do I want to play this on my modern day, souped up computer? And it's like, the answer is obvious. I want to play it on something that's a little bit, better, especially, if my laptop is malfunctioning in this analogy, which is, my first time in a while that I've actually given an okay analogy. What the hell, nice. Nick? What's going on?
Yeah, no, it's
Am I sick? Am I sick?
I hope not.
There are also other deals that are coming out that, if you're listening to this, you got the $300 regular PlayStation 4 Slim, the $350 in American, by the way, PlayStation 4 Pro, There is a VR bundle right now that includes a couple of games, such as Traverse Saves the Universe and Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted, which I've watched a couple of videos of. That is scary as shit. Also, that bundle is $249, which is $50 off. There's also other different bundles that you can buy for VR for $300. That comes with controllers and a bunch of games, which includes Beat Saber, which is such a fucking good game. And right now, DualShock controllers are actually down in price right now. They are $39.99. I usually see them for $50-$60. So, $10-$20 for a new controller. Price. Yeah, pretty good price. Sony's PlayStation Plus service is currently $39.99 for a whole year, which is 33% off. That is $20 cheaper than what it usually is.
That's a good price too.
If some reason you want to get PlayStation Now, which is essentially your internet TV cable system through the PlayStation 4, they chop $30 off. Why you do that is beyond me, because just looking at it statistically, it's just so much better to get something like Hulu or Netflix. But that's just an opinion. Anybody who has PlayStation Now and wants to fight me at 2x Tyler. Lastly, for the Sony side, and actually no, there's a lot more. Holy shit. PlayStation Classic is down to $30. So but
Yikes. That's rough.
It was 35, but now it's 30. What's the original price of the PlayStation Classic?
I think it was $89.99 or at launch or something.
It was between $80 and $100.
Yeah,
it's now down to 30. Hot damn. That's what's up.
No, I was just gonna continue with the games that are off on discount too.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, hit it, Nick.
So we've got a bunch, and I'm just going to read through this list quickly. Spider-Man is down to $20. God of War is also down to $20. MLB The Show 19, if you're into that, is down to $40. Days Gone down to $40. A number of older PS4 hits are also down to $10, including the complete edition of Horizon Zero Dawn, Bloodborne, The Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted 4: Thieves' End, Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, Super Hot VR, and Until Dawn.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. For $10, you can get Horizon Zero Dawn, which includes the Frozen Wild expansion that they have on it, the DLC. $10. That's the. I admitted something to Nick. I'm not going to admit here, but Horizon Zero Dawn is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Bloodborne is obviously Bloodborne. Everybody loves The Last of Us, and the remastered version, is obviously, an improved version for the PlayStation 4. Uncharted 4, great fucking game. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection, which is the first 3 games all in one. Super Hot VR, which is probably one of the most renowned PlayStation VR games that is currently out there right now. And Until Dawn, which is one of my favorite horror games, besides Dead Space, of course, are $10 each. It's like fucking Christmas over here for me, Nick. If I
pretty much
almost all those games.
And then on the tail end of things, we've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey for $23, Devil May Cry for $40, and Tetris Effect for $20. And that's a huge list on Sony's side. And then coming up on the other tail end, we've got Microsoft with a few deals of their own.
Before we continue, I do want to point out that they knocked down the price of Days Gone,
which just recently came out.
Yeah, it came out less than a month ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, and they just chopped it down to $40. What does that say about Days Gone?
I mean, it says a lot more because Sony's so willing to support it as compared to BioWare and Anthem. But don't ask me.
What's Anthem?
I don't know. It's apparently a new game, but I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Shame.
It's sweet. It's a game that came with its own free DLC of a grave, tombstone.
Moving on to Microsoft and Xbox. The all digital edition of the Xbox One S has now fallen to $199, which is $50 in saving. The all digital edition is basically, it comes without a CD drive, so you can only purchase digital titles, but it's still a good price. Especially, I've always hated console exclusivity, but if you like Gears of War, the new Halo title that's going to come out, this is a good price, and I would jump on it.
A all digital version of the Xbox One S?
Yeah, that came out a little while ago, and now it's on a bit of a discount here. There is a gradient purple Xbox One S that comes bundled with Fortnite. It usually goes for. Oh no! So I think this is going at its standard price at $250. It's just a special edition console specifically for E3. It's an all purple gradient, and my god, does it look pretty!
It does. I mean, it looks like the picture that's shown in the article here almost looks like concept art more than the actual picture of the console itself. But
right,
sure,
right.
I believe it.
Well, they do a good job with their controllers, and some of their controllers do look prettier than that. I understand what you mean by concept art. It just looks very hyper realistic to the point where you don't believe it's true.
I mean, it just looks like somebody took a gradient of purple across it, but it is in fact gradient purple, so maybe that's exactly what it looks like. I do want to touch on the all digital edition. It's just thrown me off that they would do something like that, Nick, because there are two reasons why I would want to buy an Xbox One. The first one is the backwards compatibility list of Xbox 360 games that have been slowly mounting up, which I wouldn't be able to use for this. And the idea that I could, pick up older Xbox One games that I'd want to replay, which I would probably have to pay a premium, if not full price, to play if I were to buy digitally through their store. So it's like there's I'm going to save like $100 on buying the console itself, but then I'm going to start paying out of the wazoo just so I can play the games I want to play, and then not be able to play the games I really want to play that came out for the Xbox 360, even though I own an Xbox 360 and it's been collecting dust since day one, whatever.
Right. No, that's a fair point. But I think this might be a thing with us specifically, and maybe people like us, because companies like GameStop have been failing for a long time. Physical is slowly dying.
Yes.
Not slowly, it is dying. And then there's the old guard that hold on to looking out for better deals and just going out and being able to play older games, looking for good deals, picking up $3 for $10 or whatever it is whenever they run that.
I still revel in the age of garage sales and mom and pop shops that still sell games for the PlayStation 2. Like, I go to the stores that have Game Boy Color games, sitting on shelves and stuff. That is my homeland. And so long as those stores exist, I will continue to go to them and buy from them. And if they're going to give me a, brand new way to play those games that are up to date, such as an Xbox One S that can play X360 games, I'm gonna still, continue to live in that. That is my golden age. I am still in the golden age of playing old games on newer consoles. Also, Nick in the chat is pointing out that you can buy Xbox 360 games digitally if you don't want, or don't own the disc. But I have strong feelings about that. It's like, oh, I can play Halo 3 or Halo 2 for the 360. I got this disc, I kept on me, or I got it from grad sale for $5. Or I can buy it for, 10, 15, $20.
Right.
Oh, it's a history thing for me. It's messing with me.
No, and I understand, nostalgia is important. That's how they sold all the, the remastered Sega consoles. And PlayStation really tried to play into that nostalgia factor, but it was a big hit or miss with the games that they put out with the PlayStation Classic. Anyways.
So, I bought the PlayStation 4 Pro at $349.
Yeah.
That's on sale.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like Microsoft has a hot deal for the Xbox One X, and the new price tag that they're putting on it right now is actually scaring me, dude.
Yeah, it's $399 now. With it's a $100 discount, sitting at $399. This is by no means a great deal, but it is considerably cheaper than market sale price.
So it was normally $500 American dollars?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Been the case since launch. Yeah. No.
Did people actually buy that? I mean, people bought the PlayStation 3 at $600.
Think about the teraflops. 16 teraflops, dude. How can you not?
That Xbox One S better have a fucking hologram of the CEO of Microsoft, shooting lasers out and saying, think about the teraflops.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. Sony has there's a bunch of things that go into it. Sony has admitted
Xbox, Phil Spencer. I want Phil Spencer and a hologram over there. Okay, anyways,
Sony has admitted that and they're ready, and this has always been the case when we get closer to a new generation of consoles coming out. That they're going to see a significant drop in sales. And so what does Sony have to lose, considering how big they already are, by dropping the price on the last few units that have already been made? Whereas with Xbox, I think they still consider themselves to be a premium service, and they have the capital to back themselves up for it. And so they're like, well, we have the Xbox One S, which is our standard version. If you really want the more premium version, pay whatever price we want. You don't need to get it. We're not going to make you get it. Because the Xbox One X, as I couldn't even tell you whether it was successful or not, but I would assume it's a test for what they're about to do with the next generation, because the rumor is they're going to put out 2 different consoles. One of more family-oriented, kind of like entertainment unit, and one like hardcore console. Similar to what they have right now, but even more so.
In terms of saying that Xbox, aka Microsoft, has more capital to burn, you're quite correct. To put it in perspective, and this might be irrelevant in certain ways, Nintendo stock is at like $45, Sony's at 48, Microsoft is sitting at like 130 something right now. Like they have much more to work with shareholder power right now. This same article, thank you Ars Technica, by the way, they do point out that there's been better deals for the Xbox One throughout the days. Like for example, Walmart currently has an Xbox One bundle with Fallout 76 for $20 less than this, so $379. Why anybody wants to touch Fallout 76, even if they get a $20 discount on it, is beyond me, but who knows. It feels like an like a suspicious looking gnome wizard trying to sell you this cursed item. Oh, you want this sword? I got the same sword here for $20 cheaper.
It's Todd Howard at the bus station trying to pawn off his mixtapes. That's what Fallout 76 is at this point.
Okay, fair. That joke new.
But yeah, no. There are much, and historically it's always been the case. There's significantly better deals for Sony and PlayStation. So, go out, get whatever you want to do if you haven't gotten those games. And they're not to say that there aren't any deals for the Xbox, but I would still check GameStop. Throw them a little bone while they're still in business.
Right. Controllers. Looks like Xbox One is currently having a mimicking deal to the PlayStation 4. I wonder who did what first. I feel like these companies, I don't think this happens normally like this, where the 2 companies are doing the same exact deals, essentially. It just seems weird here. It's almost suspicious. It's like one planned it and the other one's like, we'll do better.
Well, that's what it seems like, because the Xbox One controller is only about $10, bringing them down to $50, but you'd find them a lot cheaper if you had Amazon Prime, for example. So I feel like Sony is just kind of like, well, they're in just like wholesale mode. Well, we're about to launch PlayStation 5. Let's just fucking price everything cheap and just get rid of as much as we can. And Xbox is kind of like, yeah, we'll just take our time. We'll just do what we're doing.
Fun fact. I found an Xbox One controller in my local mall's parking lot. A camouflaged Xbox One controller just sitting on the ground.
How'd you see it?
It was really hard. I had to roll high on my perception. But I'm pretty sure I still have it somewhere around here. I don't have an Xbox One, Nick. But anyways, I guess my point is I got it for free, and I still think it costs too much for me. I had to bend down to pick up that damn thing. It was
my only argument for Xbox One controllers being as high as they are is the fact that they're compatible with PCs. Not that PlayStation 4's controllers aren't. You have to download extra software to get them to work, whereas Xbox One controllers have native support.
Okay, I do have a question, and this actually might reveal something about that controller I got. Does the Xbox One controller still use batteries?
Yes. No, but you don't need batteries if you connect them via like a USB to your PC.
So if I were to get an Xbox One and hook up my controller, I just wanted to make sure, because I know the 360 uses AA's and all that stuff, but it just Xbox One doesn't use AA batteries for the controller still, right?
No, we do.
Right?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. AA.
Why
AA
do they
batteries.
still use fucking not internal batteries? What the fuck is this shit?
I've no idea. I couldn't answer that to you. I'm not a production designer.
Batteries in general, especially your AA's and AAA's and stuff, is turning into the closest thing we can have to a modern day relic. That shit is getting old fashioned. As years go on, I buy less and less batteries.
That's true. But internal batteries, unless they're made properly, will make the whole product obsolete if you don't take proper care of your batteries, or if something goes wrong with the batteries. Whereas removable batteries ensures that the product will stay good for a while unless you're fucking tossing it around.
Or living on a random parking lot for somebody else
Or
to pick
leaving
up.
out somehow leaving a camouflage controller and somehow having somebody see it. Like I don't understand it, Tyler. It makes no sense.
It was weird. It was weird, man. Like I nearly tripped over the damn thing. I was just sitting right next to my car. Like, it was one of those things where you gotta start worrying because you kind of like seeing a folded $100 bill in your windshield wiper, and it's like, am I about to get booby trapped? Is this some mugging happening here? Am I gonna pick it up and Sony representatives come down and kick my shit out and take my petty change? But yes, okay, fine. I will stop talking shit about the wireless controllers that are still using batteries. Your argument that misuse will cause them to become obsolete is very true. I'm going to point out Joy-Cons, PlayStation 4 controllers. They do go out of style eventually. They do malfunction. You can always buy a new one.
Yeah, no, like I'm not like I'm all for like internal or at least easy maintenance internal batteries. But again, if you're just using it for your PC, you don't need batteries for your Xbox controllers.
Ones if you want to connect via Bluetooth,
then you'll need a battery. But then they make pretty long cables, so
I'm talking like rechargeable battery packs for the Xbox One controller doesn't exist. Which
no, they do.
Yeah, I know they do, but I'm just like, those things don't exist. They must use Duracell.
Right. Okay. But yeah, moving on from the E3 deals, my week's been okay.
It's weird because we're a video game podcast, but we started talking about video games.
Yeah, that never happens. My week's been okay.
Me in the courts.
Nothing's really happened. I'm just busy with school. Nothing's really happened outside of gaming. Like I'm just kind of just hanging out, just doing school. I've got like 3,000 words to write this weekend. Because I'm doing 2 writing courses. Yeah, well, one of them's fun, one of them's not. So we'll see. So one of my papers is a research paper where we get to pick whatever topic as long as it's relevant to our field or what we're studying, I guess. And so my focus is actually going to be, and this should be of no surprise, really, considering the fact that I'm the biggest Guardian Con shill among the two of us, at least. My focus is going to be on the good that gaming can do, and really the hidden. The unseen or the unpublicized efforts of the gaming community for the betterment of society. Nobody really talks about all the money that charities like Guardian Con, Games Done Quick, all these wonderful initiatives that, the amount of money and the amount of support that they give back to the people, and to sort of take away some of the negative connotations that have been perceived or lie with the gaming community, because the World Health Organization recently classified video game addiction as an actual disease. And too much of anything is obviously an issue, but this feels like my pastime or my hobby that I try to do something productive with is now all of a sudden a bad thing, even more, not like now officially.
Right. It's like, man, now we gotta, prove that we don't play for more than 2 hours a day because it affects our lifestyle, even if we might consider it part of our lifestyle. Like,
but you can sit down and yell at a TV about 2 teams that have no impact on your life for 4 hours and nobody's gonna bat an eye. But then the moment you sit down and you play with friends from all across the fucking world, everybody has a problem.
Yeah, the moment we start we try to play fucking Mario Party on the TV, oh gosh, that's a disorder. But Super Bowl, it's like, we could commercialize that. Yeah, fuck this shit.
Without gaming, like this wouldn't, I wouldn't have, Tyler wouldn't have made that post on Reddit. I wouldn't have reached out. Like, we wouldn't be doing this for a year now. So it's stuff like that. Like,
wait,
I really.
Does that mean if we're talking about video games with such passion, this is disorderly conduct?
Apparently. So we're addicted, Tyler. We need to be treated. We need help.
We need help.
We do.
Well, unfortunately, I'm an enabler. And
yeah, it's so sad. Can we get 10 to 5,000 gifted subs, please? Anyways,
okay. Jesus Christ.
So there's a lot. I'm not sure how we're gonna tackle this. Before we get to even more news, Tyler, what's your what have video games been looking like for you this week?
So after I had my little come to Jesus moment with video game burnout and all that stuff, I tried playing Horizon Zero Dawn, which I did play. And I'm loving the shit out of it. At first, like the first hour or two, I'm like, I gotta get used to the controls. This feels weird. I picked and played New Game Plus, which was weird to me because I usually don't pick a New Game Plus, where I start from nearly the very beginning. They let you skip the absolute, super beginning because they realize, it's just for story flavor and it's kind of boring. And Horizon Zero Dawn lets you have all your shit. And so me at like almost max level with all my gear decked out and stuff from the expansion coming back into the very beginning, which expects it to be like level 3 or level 5, I realized I'm just going to burn through this game real quick. That I don't think I enjoy that. And so I decided to bump it to the super hard difficulty, which is the second hardest. With the last DLC or whatever you want to call it, the update, they have ultra hard, which locks you into the difficulty and just makes life a living hell for you, regardless of whether or not you're gonna, have your armor or whatnot, all your good sweet gear. And so I decided I'm just going to stick with super hard because eventually once I catch up in levels by the halfway point of the game's going to be legitimately hard. Right now it's set for normal for me.
Right.
And so I've been doing that. I'm going to wait until my PS4 Pro shows up, it says it's going to come in on Monday, which is kind of scary. It's like, holy shit, it's like I pushed a button. I made a mistake. It's going to be here within 2 days. By the time the podcast comes out, I should have a PlayStation 4 Pro. Anyways, beyond that, I've been playing more Grand Theft Auto on the Havoc server. Been having a good time, and some weird things have been happening, Nick. Is they did a weird update. They took a bunch of cars away, and so I lost my maxed out Honda Civic.
No. Do you still have your pink truck?
I do. I had my pink truck until last night.
Oh no.
My pink Sand King. I looked up the rules and stuff, and I realized that things like underglow and maxed out like tinted windows are illegal. So I got rid of those because my character's law abiding and all that shit for the most part. Right. If there's no cops in the server, it's like I dropped the act. I'm doing 100 miles an hour. Sorry.
Right.
But I finally hopped on for once when there was actual people on instead of just like 2-3 players. I keep trying to save up money to buy the fucking equivalent of the Batmobile. Like there's a stupid car that looks like a fucking Batmobile. I realized if I can do that, I can finally become Doug Hunter, the bounty man, or Doug the bounty hunter. And so I got this hot pink, or maybe a bubblegum pink souped up Sand King, which is the equivalent of your fantasy Tonka truck at this point. And I'm just this, greasy looking guy in a suit. And I've been trying to save up money to get fucking shit. But then roleplay keeps getting in the way. It's like, well, that's the point. Roleplay is important. And so it's like, Doug wants a fucking house. So he bought a house for $300,000, which was all his money.
Oh, there goes all my money.
There goes all my money. Now I got a sweet house. Oh,
at least you have somewhere to sleep.
True, because in my roleplay, Doug has been sleeping in the back of the Sand King and using it as a bathroom, so his trunk smells like piss. Anyways, I wanted to buy this nice car though, $700,000. That's my goal. I got I'm super psyched. I can make about $100,000 every couple of hours. Just doing shit here and there. Then they took all the custom cars away, and they raised the stats of the other cars, including the supers. And as a result, they jacked up the price. So instead of $700,000, I now got to pay $1 million. And so it's been a slow, hard push trying to get, Doug Hunter. He's been coming friendly with the police and all that stuff. And he's trying to slowly but surely watch people know who are the troublemakers and become this vigilante that's probably going to last for one fucking day because I'm going to tase a bad guy and then probably go to jail. But that's okay. I just need that day. Yesterday, or I guess this morning rather, I was just sitting there having a smoke in the game, watching a cop pull a guy over, and the cop was like, "All right, sir, it's going to be like $200 for this, ticket, or if you want to talk me out of it, wink, wink." And this cop was jokingly suggesting, asking for a bribe, and the guy in the car loses his shit. He's like, "I'm not fucking bribing you, man. That's kind of fucked up. There's no way, a cop should be like this." And so, the guy just gives him the ticket, and the other cops show up. One fucking takes out like a power box. I'm like, okay, tax dollars at work. Yeah, it's like fucking great drivers in Los Santos over here. And so the other cop talks to this guy, and the guy's like, "That dude was trying to bribe me. That's crooked cop." And so they're walking away, they're having a chat, and I'm just sitting there having smoke talking to the guy who was trying to give the ticket in the first place. And, I'm chatting him up. I'm like, hey, how long have you been a cop? And he was like, hey, this is my first day. I'm like, oh. Talk about a short-lived career, huh? And so he's being actually super friendly and chatty with me. And so the other cop lets the guy who got pulled over in the first place take off. And he's like, I don't think you're going to be a cop for too long, my friend, if you're going to try to take bribes and stuff. And, the first guy's like, I wasn't actually offering a bribe or anything like that. And, asking for bribes. He's like, shit like that happens, you're going to be off the force. And I'm standing right there having a smoke. I'm in stage 2 of being Doug the bounty hunter. I'm in a American flag sweater vest, decked out, with this, sweet get up. And I'm standing looking like America over here with the cigarette. American spirits, of course. And I'm like, I was just standing here the whole time. That dude was actually asking if he could pay off the cop to leave. Cop never asked for the bribe. He told him that was fucked up. And the cop's like, that's exactly what happened. And so the second cop's like, well, I mean, if you got a witness, and, it's like, I guess we should probably pull the guy over for trying to get a cop in trouble. And so the second cop walks away, and the first cop's like, thank you. And I'm like, no problem. Try to make it the day 2, please. And so I'm trying to make connections with the fucking cops and getting them out of trouble after they accidentally become dirty cops.
Yeah, because for a bounty hunter, that would make sense. You need to have like some sort of beneficial relationship with the law enforcement, because you're going to be going out to do their, quote unquote, dirty work that they wouldn't have time for.
Especially, I'm going to want to be friends with cops that are okay with bending the rules every now and then, such as the one that was, jokingly suggesting for a bribe. If I find a by the books, you've gotten too reckless there, Murphy. Give me your gun and your badge kind of cop. I'm going to be in trouble if I ever meet him, because I can't take off in the fucking Batmobile, because I'm going to come out in this American vest and probably some fucked up makeup for, pretend I'm fucking Batman over here. And so I got to find, I got to find my Commissioner Gordon, essentially. Right. I got to find the cop that will give me the deets, because I can't listen to the scanner or anything like that. If he can text me saying, hey, there's going to be a chase here over by the bank, I can come fucking swooping in.
You just come in with your pink Sand King, just fucking T-bone the perp trying to get away.
So I'm probably going to change it back, because as you say it, I realized the truth. I changed my pink Sand King to red and blue with a white pearlescent overcloak just to symbolize America. So also with my new haircut and stuff, because I trimmed down the mullet, he looks like some cartoonized version of Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid at this point. He looks like fucking like, I could do CQC, watch out, slut, kind of character. I think it's going to be interesting. Plus, I played League of Legends. I don't really want to talk about it, okay? I'm having a tough time in my life.
That's fair.
Nick, you've been playing a game again.
I'm not going to talk about it until we actually talk about it, because I think we're going to just restructure what we're talking about today before we get to like our big topics. But there is one thing that I did want to play, and that's Skyrim. Now,
Skyrim, huh? For what platform? If you don't
on my
mind me
PC.
asking.
But I've never played Skyrim modded.
Really?
I've never. It's not that I'm against mods, but I generally, with games that can be modded, I've always enjoyed playing the game unmodded, and so I've never felt like I needed to add in mods. But I saw a screenshot recently of how absolutely insane Skyrim just looks visually with mods. And I'm like, I need that.
So visual mods versus like custom quest or models and stuff. Well, I guess technically custom models.
Yeah, I'm gonna be browsing some of those too and see which I like and which I would want. But mostly visual. I wanna play that game in its visual peak. And so that's what I've been trying to work on, trying to find the right mods that work together. I have like the mod manager installed, Skyrim's installed, so I'm just trying to like work my way through that. But that's sort of like on my to-do list over the next few months, which comes as a surprise to a lot of people when I'm like, I've played a shit ton of Skyrim, but I've never played it modded.
So you want to hit the visual peak that is Skyrim using mods, sir. If you want to hit the epitome of perfection, may I suggest the My Little Pony Dragon mod?
No.
But having Fluttershy as a Pegasi come swooping in chomping the fucking head off of the local guard, shouting yay, and then breathing fire over somebody. That is how Skyrim was meant to be played, Nick.
Unfortunately, stuff like that doesn't get me as hard as some other people, but, you know, to each
You don't
their
have
own.
to be hard. You have to run. It's a fucking giant-ass pony that can murder.
No, I'm just gonna be doing like the trees and water and shit, dude. Like, I just want the world to be beautiful.
You know how to upgrade the dragons to their final forms? Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure an Elder Dragon is its final form. When Parthenax comes down and descends hell upon the mortals, I think that's what it's meant to be. The only thing that can beat whatever the fuck unicorn you named is Thomas the tank engine.
Thank you. Thomas the tank engine. I'm okay with what you're going with here because I still picture the Breath of the Wild mod where there's a fucking Lionel that is Thomas the tank engine. And so having this giant ass fucking Thomas chase after you, and then like Shrek as a those fucking giant ass ogres,
right? Yeah,
the Hinoxes. But just imagine, Nick, you've played Skyrim, like the beginning of it, at least.
I've played plenty of Skyrim, yes.
Just imagine the start. You're running down. You're one of the prisoners. You're getting ready to be hit for the chopping block, and all of a sudden, motherfucking Fluttershy climbs over the tower and goes, "Yay!" and just shoots everlasting death all over the people.
Yeah, no, that's not what I would be doing.
I see. Nick in the chat is saying someone doesn't know the magic of friendship.
No, I don't need friends. I just need death. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be trying to do over the next few weeks. While I'm playing another game, which we will talk about. Obviously, if you've been listening for a while, you probably know what this game is. It's really only one of two things. But before we get to like our bigger topics, we're gonna start with some Pride Month stuff.
Okay,
Tyler, do you want to talk about this?
Yes, absolutely. They did this last year, I'm pretty sure. And they've been doing a lot of very woke shit. And by them, I mean Sony. Sony really hit it right with their celebration of International Women's Day with all their female characters as gamers and all that stuff as a theme and wallpaper for the PlayStation 4. This month being Pride Month, they are going to send out a theme for you free of charge that you can throw. And it looks fucking sweet. It's the triangle, circle, X, square as a logo of sorts that is embroidered in a diagonal rainbow. It has a fucking wonderful looking rainbow theme with the rainbow glazed icons. I don't know what the sound effect is if it's not the standard one, but it's simple and impactful. And I really think it looks sweet. I made sure already to have it like I think they took it down after the month of June, so I missed it last time, and I grabbed it today. Made sure to grab it like online and then have it sent over to my PlayStation 4. So yeah, guys, if you got a PlayStation 4 and you're feeling a little prideful, that is your chance. To enjoy yourself a little bit further. Even if you don't, for some reason, that's not up your alley. And you're, just somebody's trying to live their life. It still looks fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, rainbows are heckin' cool.
Hell yeah, man.
Right. So that's the free Pride Month theme for PlayStation. We're gonna be talking about E3. Pre-E3, the actual event, there's always a bunch of shit that happens before and after. The whole town turns into a party, the whole city. I've been told that for about 5 to 10 blocks, like in a 5 to 10 block radius from the actual convention area, usually it's just blocked off and it's just nonstop party. And considering all the leaks we've been getting, and I really don't want to talk about the leaks until things have been confirmed, so you'll be hearing more about it next week. We're going to be talking about some things that have already happened. EA has stated that they will not be they would not be hosting a press conference, but they have announced a few things pre all the press conferences. Yeah, and these are interesting things. One of them is sure to get everybody hyped. Tyler, have you heard of a little universe, a little galaxy far, far away?
Very far away.
Very, very far away that most people haven't done right, and I still don't think that they would do it right. The only saving grace here is Respawn.
So the way you're describing this is actually making me chuckle, because I was going to ask you a question. I was going to say, Does it feel like that there is a playground called E3 where there are several children, playing together saying, I'm going to be a knight, I'm going to be a wizard, and E3 is like, I'm going to be the best. And you're like, you can't just be the best. You got to pick. No, I'm going to do things my way. And so they don't leave the fucking sandlot. They fucking stay there at the playground, but they're standing at the corner saying, I'm not a part of this, but I'm the fucking best, and I'm going to pretend I'm the best. Here's my performance. And that is E3 right now.
EA.
It's in the game.
Yeah, no, you were saying E3 instead of EA for like the last, this last analogy. Yeah, just
my bad.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no, it's okay. I get what you mean. Yeah, no, EA is, and this is good, I think, because EA needs to get its own head out of its own ass. I hope that all of the shit that's been happening over the last 2 years now, that they kind of understand that they kind of need to take a step back and look within and try and figure out some of their shit, which is why Anthem was not in any of these announcements. At least that's what I think. I think they need to take a good hard look at Anthem and then honestly just relaunch it and like after they fix all the shit. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. And even if they do that, I don't think it's still going to be any good because BioWare has really been shitting the bed.
It's going to be Anthem 2. This time
Anthem
we did it right.
Within a year of like Anthem. All right, so we've got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order that was announced a little while ago. It is being developed by Respawn, published by EA, because EA still has all the rights for the Star Wars video games. And they announced Fallen Order a little while ago, and today they bought us some video game footage. And by today, I mean Saturday, June 8th. They bought us some gameplay footage, and it looks really good, Tyler.
It looks fucking amazing. It's kind of like, I have the thought in the back of my head, it's like, this isn't the popular open world Star Wars game that got canceled because they wanted more money faster, but you know what, fuck it, let's do this. And so the fact that they were able to put this together so quickly, honestly, it reminds me of Lego Star Wars, except the graphics look amazing.
Right.
And just the style and gameplay, like, it's just moving around. It looks and it feels good. And
what's impressive is as well, it looks like it looks very, so say what you will about the games, but graphically and gameplay wise, Battlefront 2 has looked pretty impressive. And I like that Respawn has kept that aesthetic to a certain extent. It looks well polished, it looks fluid, and considering Titanfall 2 and Apex and how smooth the two of them already are, albeit they are first-person games, I was not expecting anything bad from this game. But the fact that they were able to get us some gameplay footage this early, which is not a surprise that it's E3, and by all means, this could be cinematic footage, it could be pre-rendered, but they have something and they've shown it to us, and it looks good.
It honestly gives me a vibe of what Darksiders should have been like. Just with the motions, the traveling. There's moments in the scene where the guy's climbing across grates and stuff of this badass Empire ship, and he's stealthing around, and just the powers that he has, it feels clearly Star Wars. He can reach for somebody and pull it towards him and lightsaber him through the chest, and then throw his fucking lightsaber at somebody else and chop him up, and it looks nice. It has a good vibe. I think this might be some hope for EA after they kind of put all their chips in a certain game called Anthem, but then they had Apex Legends, so what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I would argue that there's also a little bit more hope for Star Wars video games in general. But moving on from that, before we get more details, there's a beautiful gameplay demo out on YouTube right now. Just go ahead, look. It's about 15 minutes. It shows you some story. It shows you how fluid the movement and the combat is. Moving on, they talked a little bit about Apex Legends Season 2. Now, Apex Legends launched in March or Feb, I think. And then they had the first season, and the first season was really just cosmetic stuff to grind out for. It wasn't super well received by players, by pros, by streamers.
February 4th. Thank you.
Okay. Then there was also an issue of Respawn not pushing out updates quick enough. The fan base has been a little bit impatient. But with the details that they've announced with Season 2, it seems like it might be some sort of redemption, some sort of saving grace. They have a brand new character coming out, and they have different ways to grind and level, some of which I don't have those details for you right now, but that is definitely something to look forward to. The new season launches July 2nd, July 7th. Yeah. Tyler, you played a little bit of Apex Legends, right?
Yes, I did. I played with you, I believe.
Oh, yeah. We did play a little bit of Apex. Like, I honestly, like, I love the game, but I can't do BRs. I like team shooters. I like my arena shooters. I can't do BRs anymore. That's why I haven't played it in a while.
I've wholeheartedly given up on anything that is a battle royale at this point. Honestly, unless you count Super Smash Brothers 100-man mode at that point, I'm pretty sure I won't touch it anymore. I mean, the new character Watson looks very interesting. The concept and the style looks pretty cool, but it's not like that's gonna hook me and draw me right in. It's like I still got to shoot a bunch of people that might talk about my mother.
Right. So we've got a new gun coming.
Or I might play with somebody that might say, "What's up?" after they kill somebody.
July 2nd is the launch date for Season 2. Season 2 is called Battle Charge. There's a new weapon coming out. It's called the L-Star, a returning weapon, light machine gun from Titanfall 2. Season 2 will also include a ranked mode with skill-based matchmaking and ranked tiers. The Season 2 Battle Pass will also include more content than the Season 1 Battle Pass, including more skins and materials. And we have a new legend, as mentioned. Her name is Watson. She's able to place down electrical fences that can block enemies' progress. She's a defensive character. This is coming from a Kotaku article I just Googled just to get more details on what's coming out.
Do I have to pay money to get her?
I don't believe so. I think it just takes a while for you to unlock enough credits to be able to play new characters.
Okay.
I think it's something like you have to get 20 levels, which you can get pretty quick, like fairly quick with consistent gameplay before you get enough in-game credits to go towards a new character.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was just worried it's one of those, hey, you like this character? Get ready to cough up money.
I mean, you can if you want to just get it immediately, but you don't need to.
Okay.
So that's Apex Legends. They announced Battlefield 5.
Which
sorry.
I'm gonna say Battlefield 5 is, I'm pretty sure, out.
That's how little I've heard of Battlefield 5 that I thought it was re-releasing. They announced a new big map.
Yeah, it came out last year in November. I want to point out that with E3 and EA, out of like the 6 games that they listed, half of them at the very least are games that are already out.
Yeah, they're just pushing out more content for those games. So with Battlefield 5, we have a new map. It's going to be coming out. It's called Al Sondan.
Sure.
Or they're going back to a more Pacific setting, and there's a new chapter 5. There's something called Operation Underground. I don't know, Battlefield fans. There's something new coming out for you guys. FIFA 20. Yeah.
Nick is saying in the chat that they're adding Japanese and American troops in the with this update.
Oh, that's interesting.
DLC, so that will be interesting. Hey, FIFA 20, that's a game, right? I wasn't sure if it was going to come out this year, but holy crap, they're pushing it, huh?
It came out of left field, Tyler. You know, after all the struggles, the financial struggles that the FIFA franchise has clearly been having, I couldn't believe that they were able to pull up men together to actually put this game out.
Oh, man. Now, I was concerned because there was actually going to be a planned revolt in Brazil, and they had to make a lot of sacrifices and choices, and so... Yeah. Oh no, they're making more money by sending out FIFA 20.
Yeah. Purely satire, if nobody's picked up on this yet. But FIFA 20 is coming out. We've got NFL 2020 also coming out. They announced a new expansion for Sims 4.
Really? A new mode for a soccer game. I'm sorry, football game.
Sims 4.
FIFA game. Oh, Sims. Oh,
I already moved past FIFA.
But what about Madden NFL 2020? Also,
I already mentioned that.
We're not even going to pay homage to the great sports of the... Okay, so Sims 4, a game that's been out...
I mean, okay, like realistically, is it a surprise anymore that these games are coming out?
No, they're money generations where they're just putting stick-it notes on it with a higher number. It's okay. So The Sims 4 has been out for a very long time. So once again, instead of putting a new number on it, which would mean more work, aka, oh no, we got to stop making money off of this game that came out in 2014. They're going to create more shit for Sims 4. It's like EA is like, this is perfection in Sims 4. How can we get better but add more content for you to buy?
It wouldn't matter because we're making more money, so they don't care about the game getting... I've not played Sims, so anybody who likes Sims, don't take offense to this. We're just shitting on EA. There's a new expansion coming. It's called Island Living. It launches July 16th on consoles, July 21st on PC. Basically, it takes place in a tropical setting. We've got volcanoes, you've got new events, new kinds of fashion. Visually, it looks fun. It looks like a Sims game. It looks interesting, but yeah, that's island living.
It's disappointing because with this expansion, they can no longer drown by going into the water. Because
they now have the ability to swim.
Yeah, send a sucker into the pool and they turn around and God himself removes the ladder. It's like, I guess I just die. But at least they give us the opportunity to sacrifice our virgin Sims to the volcano god by, placing themselves near lava death. Good deal.
And now we have the biggest announcement that EA has made in years, Tyler.
What?
Yeah, it's actually happening.
Dead Space 4. They're bringing back
something else.
I'm gone. Bye. See you later. Nope. Peace, dog.
Skate 4 has not been announced. It's never going to happen. We'll just move on. Just to quickly wrap up also and remind everybody of upcoming press conferences. So we are recording Saturday, June 8th. Electronic Arts was the planned schedule. Sunday, June 9th would be the Xbox conference at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Bethesda at 5:30 Pacific Time, and then on Monday, June 10th, we've got the PC Gaming Show at 10 a.m. Pacific, Ubisoft at 1 p.m. Pacific, Square Enix at 6 p.m. Pacific, and on Tuesday, June 11th, Nintendo live stream at 9 a.m. Pacific. So next week is going to be an information dump. Get yourselves ready, folks.
But I would like to point out for the record, there's going to be every fucking podcast with the video game tag on it that's going to be talking about E3.
That is true.
I promise you from the bottom of my cold, solemn heart that, horribly, alluded to the idea that Dead Space 4 could come out anytime in the next, 50 years, that we're going to give you something that's going to make it a little bit more enjoyable than just reminding you that there's cool games coming out. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, either we'll just talk about the games that meant a lot, or Tyler will cook up something and take us along for a ride.
Oh, so you bet your ass I'll cook something good.
We'll see what'll happen. Now, that's the new stuff. Well, not the new stuff out of the way, but that's all the other stuff out of the way. Because right now, Tyler, we're heading back to a time where Activision no longer is in charge.
In a very familiar solar system, moderately far, far away. I don't know why I was trying to sound like Kojima there.
That's fine.
It is I, Kojima. That's everything was talked about last week. Kojima needs to stay in the honeypot right now.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yes.
Bungie had a big stream this week, and they made a lot of announcements. The new expansion has been announced. It is called Shadowkeep. It comes out September 14th. It takes players back to the moon. And the other game that I have been playing this week is, in fact, Destiny 2. A new season launched this past Thursday, and I have been just getting myself up to level, playing the new activities, which has actually been really fun.
Who would have thought that Bungie could have discovered that you can use t-shirt cannons over the fucking internet by launching these goddamn things at us? Also, Nick, do you like bananas?
I do like bananas.
Ooh, you do like bananas. So are you a bitch that likes bananas?
I'm not. There's something I'm missing.
You know
here.
where you can find bananas?
Where?
You're gonna be a bitch that loves bananas. You're gonna find the bananas on the moon.
Moon's haunted.
Biatch. What?
Moon's haunted.
The moon's haunted. I'm sorry. I'm full of shit. That's an old My Little Pony video. Please respect.
And that was also just a meme. And one that I will actually look for it right now because it's a fucking good meme.
What? The one I just said?
No, the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, are we having a meme off right now?
No, not right now, but
okay. I feel like we're like dusty old farts are like, hello, fellow teenagers. We got our memes to throw at each other.
Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm very much a meme connoisseur. So yeah.
Haunted with wizards. Okay. I feel like I gotta throw this into the campaign now. This sounds like something interesting here. So, yes, Bungie has announced that as of last week, they announced that there is going to be a new expansion coming out this year called Shadowkeep. That sounds fucking sweet. Nick, I'm sorry. You probably wanted to say that magic word because it sounds great. Shadowkeep. It sounds like an Elder Scroll name at that point.
It does indeed. So we can talk all about Shadowkeep, but I think there's a lot more to take away from their announcement stream. Two of them are very important. They're more significant than the actual DLC itself, because this was just the announcement, and we're going to get more details as we get closer to the date. The first being that Destiny 2 is being rebranded as Destiny New Light, and it is launching as free to play. So year one, which was the base game with Curse of Osiris and Warmind, the two DLCs in the first year of Destiny 2's launch, are going to be free to play, including the original raid, Leviathan, and all its subsequent raid layers. And Gambit, Crucible, and some of the other activities are all going to be completely free to play when you, as a new player, make your account, be it on a, sign in for the first time, be it on a console, be it on PC. It will take you to the starting mission, which is the starting mission from Destiny 1.
The fuck? What?
It is the starting mission from Destiny 1, and you do the thing, it takes you through all the tutorials, you do the thing at the end where you fix a ship and you have to fly to the tower, and then it drops you off in the tower that is the Destiny 2 tower, and then you just start the game as normal. Dude, I'm fucking losing my mind. It's so cool.
What the fuck?
It's so sick. So it's obviously Bungie can be held accountable for a lot of the design decisions that led to the game going into its stagnancy and having its issues here and there through actual gameplay. Bungie is fully, I believe they're 100% accountable. But when we talk about other factors such as their microtransaction store, not being able to launch the game as free to play, all of that to me screams Activision, because money. So Bungie, Destiny is now going free to play as Destiny New Light, and every expansion that is released from here on is going to be a standalone expansion, meaning that if you don't have Forsaken, but you have Destiny New Light, you can buy Shadowkeep and not have Forsaken and play the game as is. You don't need to own Forsaken to play the game.
So how does that work? If I have Destiny 2 New Light and then I buy Shadowkeep, do I just skip Forsaken? Essentially,
yeah. There'll be built-in systems, built-in quests, built-in bounties that'll bring you up to the necessary light.
Kind of like the Gambit missions that can just kind of beef me up the fucking, was it like 600 or 700?
And also like even with people who only own Forsaken but did not own the season pass, you still were able to level up to max level. You still had access to a lot of the new Crucible modes and a lot of the new things. So you weren't completely locked out from power leveling, even if you didn't have the season pass, the annual pass. You might not have the weapons, you might not have the armor, you might not be able to do the activities, but you could still compete in terms of level. So I would assume that sort of logic follows here. For example, when Forsaken came out, if you did not have the base game and the previous two DLCs, you couldn't play Forsaken completely, or they wouldn't even let you progress through certain areas. Whereas now these are standalone expansions. So if you've never had Destiny ever, and then you came and you bought Shadowkeep, you could play Shadowkeep as is, because most of the current game is now free to play, or is now going to be free to play, and you don't need anything else. If Shadowkeep can stand alone, you don't need any of the other previous whatever.
It's very frustrating because when it comes to any MMO that I've played in my entire life, you think of the big ones, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, I can name quite a few actually, Final Fantasy 14. It's like all of those are well and good, but they're all fantasy-like. Whereas Destiny, specifically Destiny 2, when I finally picked it up and started playing into it, it was the first MMO where I was having a legitimate good time, whether or not I was playing by myself or with friends. And it was the only MMO where I would do anything in my fucking power to try to get other people to play with me.
Right.
Like, I was trying to be friends with Cam, Nick. That's how much I wanted people to play with me. And it sucks because, my other friend Nick here, he's been trying to get me to play Destiny 2 for a while. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. No, not really. Taking Cam.
Not me, Nick, the other Nick.
Other Nick. And well, I mean, you've been preaching the good word, like the priest of Destiny that you are. And I just been this atheist heretic when it comes to like, there's no such thing as a good Destiny 2 game. And then it became free for the base game one day, and then whoops, hey, I'm converted. I fucking bandwagon like a motherfucker. Just jumped on, bought the t-shirts and all that shit. Not really, because I didn't keep the challenges in time to get the t-shirts. Woo. But seriously, if I had 5 people that I knew and cared for telling me, hey, we're going to be playing Destiny 2 like an MMO, we want to build and play together, I fucking just tear up any fucking game that I would be playing right now. Every fucking game. I would cancel D&D, and I'd play nothing but Destiny 2 if I knew that there was at least going to be 2-3 other people that I could play with at any given moment, because that is a fucking fantastic party up game.
So with all this news now, you might get that opportunity with how many people might come back, because not only... So this is the free-to-play part. Now talking about some of the stuff that they revealed, it seems like we might be getting a sort of transmog system. We're going to get armor perks with stats that actually matter and do things. We're going to be getting finishing moves. We're going to be getting, new fighting old enemies, new story elements added. It's exciting in terms of the actual core content for the DLC. We'll find out more about that as time goes on. I wouldn't be surprised if they reveal some things at GuardianCon, because Bungie's going to have official presence there this year. But then they made their biggest announcement. And Tyler, this, I didn't think anybody could do it. Did you know that Sony wasn't on board until a day before?
Wait, the day before this announcement came out?
Sony wasn't on board. When Bungie was like still admin, they were about to go through it about a day before, or an hour before or something. Jason Schreier reported on, but basically within a small amount of time before the announcement, Sony agreed to it.
Holy shit. No fucking way.
Bungie pulled it off. So, cross save is coming to Destiny 2. Cross save is coming to Destiny 2, and what this means is you can play on your PlayStation, and then you can save up level up, and then you can go to your PC, and then you can log into the same character. It is not cross play, it is cross save. There's a very important distinction there, meaning that you're not playing with or against people from other platforms, but your character, your equipment, your gear can all transfer over.
Well, holy shit. So that means if I wanted to bring my old Awakened Titan from my PlayStation 4 over, and I could play her on the PC now?
Yes.
Now, how would this work if I own Destiny 2 on the PC now and I got a separate character who also happens to be a Titan?
They haven't put out too much information yet. They just announced it, and they're going to be giving us more information soon. But I believe you'd have to pick one or the other You'd have to pick one or the other account.
That could also... Does that mean hypothetically then, if let's say I just picked one account, hunkered down on it, does that mean also after I'm done playing with you and playing Crucible all day on you, I could go over to my PlayStation 4 and play that same character with my friend Nick on his PlayStation 4 too?
As far as I understood, yes. I could be wrong, but as far as I understood, yes.
You could be wrong, but that sounds fucking awesome.
Yep.
That's what I've been wanting since fucking day one, because I wanted to play. That's what
everybody's been wanting since the moment they announced Destiny 2 for PC. There's also no exclusives anymore, because they're not partnered with Activision, meaning there's no deal with Sony, meaning there's no exclusives, no weapons, no maps, no strikes, no missions. Everybody gets the same game. Biggest thing, one of the other big things is they're moving off the Blizzard launcher. They're moving to Steam, which we saw coming. I think it was just fantastic that Blizzard and Activision were willing to work with them up till this point to help keep them afloat while they figured their shit out. So I'm glad at least there's no animosity and everybody was working together. This means though that they'll be using new servers, so maybe we'll be getting actual not peer-to-peer and actual server-to-server connection.
That would be great, especially for PvP.
It would be fantastic for PvP.
Oh my gosh.
But one can only hope.
I remember the days of I think it was Halo and some Call of Duty games where it just felt like if the party host left, and then it's sit here for 30 seconds while we try to decide which one's the best fitting person, and then just put all the pressure on your internet.
Right.
Okay, so Google, is Stadia? Is that what Stadia? What do you say?
I'd call it Stadia.
Okay, Stadia. Stadia.
Yeah, we talked about this a few episodes ago. I don't know, I still feel like it's a gimmick, because I don't think we have the technology that allows ultra low latency gameplay through a browser. But if somehow Google's figured out the magic trick, then great. But from user testing reports, frame rate has been pretty low. It's felt pretty laggy. There's massive input delay, considerable input delay, not massive, but
okay, question coming in from the chat.
Yeah.
Are we going to have to rebuy Destiny on Steam if we got it free on Blizzard? No. I don't know where Steam came into this, because if we were to get Destiny 2, wouldn't we get it wholesale on Stadia? Or is it through Steam?
No, it's through Steam, primarily through Steam. How Stadia works is I believe you pay a subscription for certain games, or you buy games through their thing. So I can't speak too much for Stadia. So putting Stadia aside, if we're talking about Steam, if you already have a Destiny account on your PC on Battle.net, there is a way that they will give us more information on to link your Blizzard to your Steam, and it'll just transfer all the licenses over, and then you'll be able to launch Destiny 2 from your Steam account.
Good deal. Holy shit.
The issue is if when it comes to licenses for things that are Forsaken and up, we don't know too much yet because they only just announced it. So for example, if you have everything on your PlayStation, right, and then you transfer save your character and then you pick it up on PC, I'm sure you'll be able to play a majority of things because Destiny New Light. You should already have a free-to-play version of Destiny on the PC because that's what they're doing, right? So you'll have base game, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, and most activities that'll be free-to-play. So I don't know if you have a gun that's from Forsaken, whether you'll be able to use it on PC because you should technically need the license for it, if that makes sense.
It sounds like there's going to be a lot of complications that will have to be resolved by November when Stadia comes out.
Well, with Stadia, again, I don't know too much. Google's really trying to push it as the future of gaming, but it doesn't make sense, not just specifically for Destiny, but it's not a subscription service. There is no subscription service as far as I understand it. You have to go log in, and then you have to buy games through their thing to play on other people's servers. Some games you have to pay for, some games are a subscription. So it just seems like a business model that's not entirely consumer friendly. It seems detrimental to the kind of idea that they're trying to push in their product.
It's going to be shaky. Yes. Yeah. Excuse me. In its current state, with the information that we know, it sounds shaky. Whether or not it will be is going to be up to Google, essentially. And Agreed. I'd like to put a little trust in Google that they will get their shit together. If there's ever been a time where I feel like a video game company, which I'm calling Google a video game company right now, I feel like Google has very, very rarely failed me as a consumer or a person that uses their product. I am That's very fair. Heavily dependent on them when it comes to, especially with like access features through my phone. I use Google Maps and all that stuff. I use Google voice commands to send and call stores and, set stuff up as a truck driver. So I'm very familiar with, the benefits and features that Google can offer. And I feel like if they step into the video game business, I have nothing but absolute trust for them. Like, I would trust Google with creating a game more than Nintendo right now. But that's because they're fresh into the page. I have no idea what they're going to actually offer.
Right. So just to quickly wrap up this segment, Destiny 2 is looking to be launched on September 14th. Later this year. I will just confirm that date with you. But with Google Stadia, and I'm reading this straight off the article from Polygon, Destiny 2 will be included as part of Google Stadia's Founders Edition bundle, a $129.99 package that also includes a Stadia controller, Chromecast Ultra for 4K resolution, and 3-month subscriptions to Stadia Pro for 2 people. The Founders Edition will offer access to all of Destiny 2, the original game, its existing expansions, and the upcoming Shadowkeep expansion and annual pass. So that's the offer for Google Stadia in regards to Bungie and Destiny 2. If I can just get quick confirmation, September 17th, Shadowkeep launches. So look out for that too.
Good deal. Well, shit.
That's a lot of news. The only news before we get to Pokemon Week number 2 is there appear to have been a leak, and this is the only leak I will talk about because I'm just so excited. Cyberpunk 2077. The leak is just regarding a collector's edition and cover art for the box art. The cover art seems to align with some of the posters that have been seen around Los Angeles with the E3 event going on. The collector's edition includes a whole bunch of knickknacks and doodads, what have you, but there's no date that's been leaked, no information, no other information. CD Projekt Red has been very good about that. I'm just excited because we're getting close to this game is getting so close to being a reality. Like, I will be able to play this game soon.
I mean, calling it a modern day version of, The Witcher is probably a very terrible way of describing it, but
bastardization of what the game would be, but I get what you mean.
I mean, after seeing what they can offer with The Witcher 3 and offering what looks like a sci-fi modern setting versus what we're used to, it looks fucking promising.
Yeah, no, it looks, they did a whole, like, you know, a couple of months ago, 45-minute gameplay, like, reveal, and it just looks very smooth for even what they have right now. I would imagine that they were running it on the highest end of PCs and using all of that to render shit, but it still looked very good. So
I'm sorry, I paused there because I clicked on the link you sent me a while ago.
Yeah, so that's a Destiny-fied version of the meme of an astronaut coming back to NASA. So it goes, an astronaut comes back, and NASA goes, "You're back early," and goes, "Moon's haunted." And NASA goes, "What?" And "Moon's haunted." Loads gun, clicks, and then goes back to the moon, which is basically which seemed very fitting for Shadowkeep. So we had a Pokemon Direct, no problem. We had a Pokemon.
We did have a Pokemon Direct. A lot of people are hoping. It's weird because, you know, Nintendo's like, we're gonna have a Pokemon Direct soon. Everybody's like, are you gonna talk about Animal Crossing for the Switch? And it's like, no, they're probably not. They're gonna be talking about fucking Pokemon, dumbass.
The Pokemon Direct brought us a bunch of very interesting news. First off, Pokemon Sword and Shield confirmed release date November 15th, 2019 worldwide. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Tyler, I would like to, and I didn't say anything until now because I wanted to do this publicly. I would like to remind you that a couple of months ago, you bet, not anything this time, thankfully, that Sword and Shield wouldn't come out this year.
Did I make that bet?
Yes, you did. You said that I bet that it wouldn't release this year, it's going to come out in 2020. And I was like, you're fucking wrong. And guess what? You're fucking wrong.
If I made that bet, then I am wrong to my benefit. I'm okay with this. I was thumbing my nose so hard there.
The Pokemon Direct brought us a whole bunch of new information. Tyler, I linked this page, which I use a lot, Cerebi.net.
Cerebi is like one of the holy ground next to like Bulbapedia in terms of Pokemon information.
Do you want to cover anything specific first?
I mean, it was a fucking trailer, dude. I'm not sure where to cover first with that. I mean, my first thought is open world features, especially with the wilds. Yeah.
Yep, the wild area as it's called, which I was also thinking of talking about first. It's so if we take the overworld feature with the Pokemon popping up from Let's Go, and then combine it with full 3D movement, but still retain the original method of catching Pokemon by encountering them in the wild and throwing Pokeballs at them but weakening them first and then throwing Pokeballs at them. That's what I feel like the wild
truly should have been, as the
truly
story is foretold. You do not just throw a Pokeball at it and hope it catches. You must destroy its spirit.
How many times do you think I sat with Professor Oak or wherever that old fucking man in Viridian City was to show me how to catch a fucking Weedle when I already had a Mankey, a Nidoran, and a Charmander? We don't just chuck Pokeballs at Pokemon. You gotta weaken them first. I know what I'm talking about.
I talked to that fool so many fucking times, you know, specifically for the missing no glitch, but whatever. We all know about that goddamn Weedle, who has a 100% catch rate. That fucker probably has like a mountain of Weedles. He's going to be the next Pokemon villain.
He just has Master Balls painted. He just has Master Balls painted as Pokeballs. That's the old man's trick. That's what it is.
That's actually the father of the president of what Silphco. Yeah. You know, he had the proto Master Ball that just looks like a Pokeball, and he uses on fucking Weedles, just like don't ever challenge me. Or
he has a production line in his basement, so he has to get rid of them somehow.
So he does hourly demonstrations of catching Weedles that aren't even native to the region. He actually catches them with regular Pokeballs, releases them back to the wild in the area, and then recatches it just to demonstrate how to catch Pokemon.
So, the wild areas, as they're called.
Question.
Yes.
In the red and blue for the Game Boy version, does that old man actually damage the Weedle?
No,
I'm pretty sure he's completely destroying what we just said right there, where we don't just throw Pokeballs at him at full health. We are undermining our own statement here.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, Leaf Green and Fire Red, I believe he does actually damage it and then throw a Pokeball.
I mean, and also technically you could just use Quick Balls on like lower level unevolved versions, and you can stand a pretty decent chance at catching them.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough.
Anyways, the wild areas allow you for full camera control, and you can explore like unrestricted beyond like area restrictions. Like you can just walk around and you'd be able to like fully 3D like move around the camera, and you can see Pokemon in the overworld.
This is really weird, Nick, because the last time we got fucking full camera control on a Pokemon, I don't know what came out first. I'm doing a quick check here. Yep. I'm confirming. The last time we got full camera control on a Pokemon game, I'm pretty sure it was Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo 64. If you even
that was a while ago.
That. Yeah, 1998 or 1999. Pardon me. And so just the idea that it's taken
that's
so
20
long
years ago, by the way,
to give us fucking full proper control, the look of the camera around the Pokemon game. We finally did it. Nintendo struck gold. Did.
And then so it's also been reported that weather conditions in these areas will also affect the kind of Pokemon that show up. So for example, if it rains, you'll probably see more water type Pokemon, which I think is pretty cool.
Have we ever had that weather effect since Ruby and Sapphire? Because I feel like I haven't seen that kind of mechanic in a very long time in regards to the cast form.
That's a good question. Black 2, White 2 maybe had that. Black and White maybe.
I never touched, so that's fair if that's the case.
Actually, I couldn't tell you. Generation 3 was such a foundational, what a good generation that was.
I know, right? Ruby and Sapphire.
I can't.
So I guess my point is they're plucking like the things that we thought was fucking awesome, but they never really implemented again. It's so weird because they've introduced little things here and there throughout the Pokemon series that just stopped happening, and it was weird. Well,
in terms of weather effects, I don't know if there's ever been a case where it's had an effect on Pokemon appearances, but they've had an effect on Pokemon appearances in terms of actual spawn rates. Which is what the case is here.
I wonder. I have no idea.
Maybe in like general. I know like there are cases where certain Pokemon will appear under certain conditions, but in general, what's happening here is what's going to happen is if you walk through if you're like going through a route that has like lakes and ponds, and if it happens to be raining, you're gonna see a lot more water Pokemon.
And there's only one game that did that in the Pokemon series. That's fucking Pokemon Go. But
anyways, so we've got the wild area where it finally allows us to it's gonna be even more immersive than Pokemon Let's Go, I feel, because Let's Go just felt kind of like Pokemon showing up in the overworld just because that's the only way you could encounter them, whereas here it's a little bit more natural, it's a little bit more subtle but more immersive, where you're just fucking strolling through a forest and then you see a fucking Butterfree just flying through, like minding its own business.
It's nice. I'm kind of concerned because in the trailer they were showing scenes of like Pokemon like Steelixes and Tyrannitars just walking around. It's right. Like, I sincerely hope they're not, walking around that easily. But at the same time, if I, encounter a Tyranitar when I'm in an area for Larvitars, I'm probably going to get wrecked, honestly. It's like, yeah, all right, I'm going to throw my level 30 Pokemon at you. Hey, I'm level 60. Yeah, right. Just, curb stomps you and you got to run away.
Well, arguably also, this might have all just been for trailer's sake, because we also do see a Milotic. And just to like showcase just how it could actually look, and so until we get more details, we wouldn't know.
True, very true. Also, it would be cool where running away from a battle, you legitimately just scoop up your Pokemon and you try to run away like Final Fantasy 13 or 15 style, where you're just trying to run from the fight and the Pokemon's chasing after you. So we got new Pokemon. We absolutely knew about the starters, which was Flabble, Scorbunny, and Grookey.
Sobble, Scorbunny, and Grookey.
Sobble? Okay.
Sobble.
Starter, I'm probably not gonna get. Not gonna lie. It stinks because I have a feeling that Sobble in its final form is gonna be some kind of like brave motherfucker. Like it's gonna be a Hinata situation where it just turns into a beefy daddy. Do you remember looking at people's drawings of what they think the evolved forms were going to be for the Pokemon in Sun and Moon?
Yeah, and the most common theme for I think the cat was it to evolve into like a Machamp of some sort, which surprise happened.
But I mean, close enough. The one that convinced me to go for what is the original form of the main form of Primarina. The seal.
Shit, I should know this. I have them all.
Oh my gosh, Nick, you failed me with your living dex. You have a living dex, but not living dex knowledge. What's going on here? You poor.
I have failed you.
Yes, you have. So it's called Poplio, first off.
Poplio, yeah.
Yeah, Poplio. It was my starter, so I should have remembered that too. When people started drawing of it, they eventually, one person that caught my attention, the reason why I picked Poplio, was this creepy looking Malamar style clown that looked like it. It's just this evil looking walrus that looked like, had a big ass clown nose, evil eyes and shit. I'm like, oh yeah. So when I got Primarina, I was a little disappointed because it went from evil clown looking motherfucker to I'm an opera singer, which is okay. It's a fairy type. I get it. And then meanwhile, my wife, who got, the little fire kitty, got the fucking pro wrestler. I'm like,
Incineroar.
And then Brandon, I believe, picked Rowlet. And so he got this, pretty cool ass looking. Yeah.
Really cool design.
Yeah. And so I'm not falling for this shit. Sobble in my head is gonna do a full around. He's gonna turn into like a Greninja style. I'm gonna go from scared and stuff to I'm brave, I'm cool looking, I'm fucking Greninja, except I'm the Sun and Shield version. It's like I bet he's just gonna turn into a fucking coward. Whatever. Fuck it.
Maybe we'll
it's
have
gonna
to see
be a
what happens.
Sobble in a box. That's just gonna be its final form.
Ultimate defense.
Ultimate defense. Nick, people have been asking me what version I've been getting, and I've only told technically you and other Nick actually.
And I can't remember.
Good. Because I admitted that I keep flip-flopping every fucking week, even though I keep thinking I'll re-decide which one I want if I keep picking the same thing. I always like to go for what I thought was, the not as cool one, gold and silver. I was always the silver guy because, everyone loves gold, but, silver is not as valued as much.
Right.
And so shit like that. Everybody wanted ruby, so I wanted sapphire and stuff like that. In this case, I said, fuck it. I'm going to go for whatever looks the coolest to me. And, sword looks fucking cool as it turns out. So I keep telling myself sword, and fucking Nick in the chat was like, I was gonna go shield if they put the game art of the shield on the back of the box to make it look like you're carrying a shield. I'm sorry, Nick, I'm calling you out. What the fuck? Was it supposed to be a blank box in the front, or were they gonna reverse it to where it shows the game descriptions and the pictures on the front of the box? And you just
you could just take out the sleeve and then just put it back in.
It just upside down or some shit?
No, reversible cover art. So you just take it out, turn it inside out, and put it back.
And after looking at the legendaries that they revealed for this,
are you flip-flopping again?
No, I'm saying with the fucking sword. I want a goddamn sword, a dog that has fucking gum cancer because he's holding a stainless steel sword in his mouth.
So apparently, and a Redditor noticed this from the trailer that they showed us. The blades on the back of I'm gonna say Zacian right now. Zacian.
Can you, for my sake and for the layman's sake of the listeners, sword dog or shield dog?
Okay, so the sword dog, if you notice, has these appendages on its back. The smaller ones closer to its rear legs. Apparently, they come out, and then they extend the pommel of the sword. And then the bigger ones closer to its forelegs extend the blade because they're smaller in the trailer at some point and they're missing from its back. So apparently people are speculating that it'll go between an attack and a defense form or attack in a normal form, whereas the shield doggo will go from a defense to a normal form or something.
Now, the form that we saw was Shield Dog. Was that its normal form, or was that Shield Dog mode?
I don't think anybody noticed anything specifically for Shield Doggo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Shield Doggo was basically he got smacked across the face. He's like, hey, he didn't do anything.
Maybe the appendages on its side come forward out and join with the shield to make the shield bigger. I don't know.
I want to see the deviant art of Sword Doggo, without a sword, and it's just his mouth, but he has two holes in the side where his gums have slowly molded around the handle.
That would be kind of creepy.
If that dog constantly holds that damn sword, a very heavy object, in its mouth, and moves it around like that, there's got to be indentations in the gum. There's no way teeth are just constantly hanging around that. He's probably got 4 fucking canines, 2 teeth, and then this giant hole where imagine if that Pokemon was born like that.
It was meant to hold a sword. This is the chosen one.
Whistle. Yeah, the chosen.
He has been born.
Put shields on him, but this one actually has the chosen markings of the hero.
So quickly to go back to our hard-hitting coverage of the Pokemon Direct, and we're gonna continue with the theme of calling them doggos. They announced the 2 legendary mascots. They're wolves, but they're dogs. We've got Sword Doggo and Shield Doggo. Tyler, I think this is going to be your game in terms of Pokemon types, because just by looking at the design, they're probably going to be Steel types.
Hell yeah. I mean, Solgaleo with Steel, so I was happy.
Yeah. And looking at some of the other designs, like this fucking badass crow, Corvic Knight, that's a flying and Steel type. Holy shit.
Wait, it's flying and Steel?
Flying and Steel. It's 7'3",
Tyler.
Out of the way,
Skarmory.
It's 7'3". That's a massive fucking bird.
That's a goddamn. You know what that reminds me of? The fucking pictures of like the Inquisitors have like the mask that has the giant long ass beak. Except now it's a goddamn Pokemon. This is the fucking Black Plague. That's a Pokemon, which seems kind of fitting with the setting.
We are going for a very, or at least Pokemon, Nintendo, whoever, Game Freak's going for a very knights. Like, you know, medieval kind of old English kind of style for a lot of their Pokemon.
Right, like the Colosseum that's based off in Rome. Whoops. I mean, what?
Right, sure, that too.
Close enough.
We've got our normal type for the generation. It's a sheep. It's called Wooloo.
Wooloo.
We've got time. I can't wait for the internet to make it sexy. We've got.
You haven't seen the furry art between that and the Mareep? I'm sorry, you're missing out.
Not yet. We've got Gossifleur and Eldegoss that have been announced. They're
2 Ampharos, 1 Wooloo. I'm sorry. Keep going, please.
And a really cool water rock turtle type Pokemon called Dreadnought. So we're off to a decent start in terms of them announcing Pokemon. The art style looks really cool. Like, I really like the general visual theme. What else can we talk about? The Galar region, as it's called, is as we know, is based off the UK. I'm very happy to announce that gyms are back.
You don't like Trials anymore, Nick?
Fuck Trials. I never liked them. I hated them from their inception.
I'm saying for the record then, maybe to spite you, I don't even know. Yeah, fuck Trials. Fuck them. Fuck those fucking Trials. Sun and Moon, we tolerated it. Fuck those Trials.
And what's really interesting is from the Pokemon Direct and from the trailer, it's essentially they've you know, for lack of a better term, commercialized Pokemon gym battles. So you'll walk out into an actual stadium, and you'll be surrounded by people, and it's gonna I'm excited. This is everything, you know.
Well, I mean, the concept of like 8 big top dogs that, you know, run the gyms across the entire place, but in reality it was just, you know, 1 or 2 people in there, and you know, people make these you know, very private quests to walk around to each of these gyms and collect badges and stuff. It just felt underwhelming. Like in the original Pokemon games, it felt tough because you're fighting somebody that knows their shit. But here it's like Pokemon has been prevalent for a very long time here. Let's make a goddamn show out of it. We've had, you know, Pokemon what do you call those, beauty competitions and all that stuff,
right
and
Pokemon,
you know, that's attracted the kind of but every time we had like a serious big fight, it's never really been for show, except for like that 4-way battle thing, then Sun and Moon. I forgot what it's called, like Pokemon Showdown or something like that. Sure. But yeah, sure. It's never been represented as like a big showing, except in the anime, where, you know, it's a big fight, everybody's watching. We'd never gotten that feeling until fucking
especially
today.
with like the conferences, dude. Like, you know, just now we're actually getting visualized in games, and part of it is now, I would think a certain part of it is because of the technology and the hardware that we have access to now, or at least that Game Freak has access to now, so that they can do a lot more with it.
We do not live in the age where Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation Vita has 4 out of the 50 characters that are supposed to be in, you know, in a ballerina ballroom.
Right.
You know, it's not empty anymore. We can actually put things that don't look like 2D pixelated image, you know, GIFs in the background.
Right.
People in the stands.
And then really the other big thing is that they announced with the feature of The Dynamax feature.
Are you laughing at your own like 5 out of 10 joke here?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So Dynamax is a new
I'm
transformation.
Dynamaxing over here.
Is a new transformation feature that they've are going to be introducing, where in certain areas you can Dynamax one Pokemon during a battle, and it'll only last about 3 rounds, 3
I would
turns.
like to give a quick correction to myself as Nick is saying in the chat. There was never a Kingdom Hearts game for the Vita. It was the PSP I was mentioning, Birth by Sleep. I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue. Holy shit. So Mega Evolve taken to the next form. Max Evolve. Sorry. Darn
Essentially.
it.
And these will affect moves much like Z moves. So when you're Dynamax, certain moves will change they'll turn into max moves. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, but for some it'll increase their power, for some it'll change their status type if it's a status move, their effect.
I mean, looking at the attacks, it basically like if a Pokemon has 2 flyings, a normal, and a psychic attack, it would just say max normal, max flying, max normal attack, max psychic attack, which just look like beefy supernova attacks, essentially. So
Right.
It just looks like it's gonna, instead of having like legitimate competitive play with, strategy and stuff like that, this is like, bro, it shows a Raichu that's on like 8 at Sweeties that day, and it's like, I'm not going to go for strategy. I just want to fuck your face in front of these tens of people.
It's like a Chimchar versus a Machop, and if a Machop gets Dynamaxed, and all of a sudden it's Chimchar versus the Hulk, and the Hulk just pounds its face into the ground.
Like, what is the name of the fucking upside down octopus? Malamar? Like, Malamar depends so much on strategy and stuff to get its effects across. You just fucking Dynamax it. It's like, I guess I just fuck people up now. It's like it's like the opposite of what happened to the Hulk in Endgame. Okay, it's like you gave it sophistication, except in this case you're just taking it away. It's like, yo.
And so with Dynamaxing, they've also introduced max raid battles, taking in some concepts from Pokemon Go, where random, like at certain locations, I would imagine you'll have a random wild Pokemon that's been Dynamaxed that has unique abilities, unique powers, and the Dynamaxing doesn't revert after 3 turns. It's indefinite until you beat it, and you can play with your friends. You can battle these Pokemon with your friends.
Oh, the moment Nick started that sentence, I heard the heat and passion in his voice, like, you can play with your friends. I was like, oh, yep.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you are.
And then have you seen the thing in the trailer, Tyler? When it's time for you to try and catch a Dynamax Pokemon, you throw a massive fucking Pokeball at it?
Yeah, it looks like fucking Naruto turns his Rasengan into a goddamn Mega Rasengan, just, and throws it.
And you just chuck it. What do you mean? I'm so excited. This is going to be one of the most fun Pokemon games in a while, I think. And I'm going to play the crap out of it, and I'm excited.
This is Pokeball Z. It's just Super Saiyan Pokeballs. Gyarados is like, this isn't even my final form. And Raichu's like, like a Rattata Scouter breaks.
So they've announced a bunch of things. We've covered the biggest things. I feel like they've also introduced some new characters. They've introduced the professor for the region. Her name is Professor Magnolia. She has a granddaughter who's a researcher and also works with her. Her name is Sonia. They've introduced Hop, who's the younger brother of the champion, who is, what's his name? Leon. The champion is Leon, who, by the way, is undefeated ever until millions of us worldwide pick up that game and fucking beat his face in within a week. Then he's going to be defeated thoroughly.
It's so sad knowing that such a happy character that killed at least 24 Buneries to get his fucking cape.
Did you notice his hat from the front? It looks like a crown, but it's actually a snapback.
Oh my god!
It's a snapback that's sitting at an angle so far back that the lip of the hat peeks up and looks like
this guy's design. But he's like an abomination of different cultures put in one. From like the top down, he's supposed to look like a king, but then he has the hipster look from the top. But then he has fucking soccer leggings, and then his shoes in the bottom because apparently he's a soccer player, king, Pokemon champion with a snapback.
Yeah, no, I love they really don't give a shit. This looks like, he's like, I'm the best. I'm gonna dress however I want, and that's what he's done. And everybody else is kind of like dressed normally, and they're just kind of looking at him like, well, are you sure about that?
Nintendo probably looked at the artists and say, I want all of you to make a total of 100 different looking champions, and we're gonna pick the most ridiculous looking one. And Leon fucking just made it out of the batch. He climbed right out of the bat and he said, yo,
I'm Leon, bitch.
Yeah, I'm Leon. I play football. I'm undefeated. Look at the hat. It snaps the back. It's Leon time, motherfucker.
Regardless, I'm excited, guys. I really am. I can't wait for this game. And the next few weeks in terms of game coverage are going to be intense, because there's so much that's going to be happening regarding E3 and then just a whole bunch of things. Summer's usually always been slow, but we all look forward to the start of summer because that usually means E3.
Could I make a small prediction for Pokemon before we wrap it up?
For sure.
I'm going to make a prediction that whenever Leon sends out his Pokemon, he's going to kick it around like a soccer ball and then sends it out.
Ooh, I would argue that maybe it's not. Okay, I will broaden that prediction. I will say it's not going to be just Leon. I feel like there's going to be one of those trainer archetypes that you fight that's going to do that.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So your prediction is that Leon's going to do that specifically. I feel like it's going to be a trainer class that's going to do that.
I'm going to say that just for shits and giggles, even though this one's not going to happen. There's a 50-50 chance where you challenge him and you throw your Pokeball and he kicks it back at you.
And he kicks it back at you and it catches you. And then you're his new Pokemon.
That's the Exodia, the forbidden one. I summon Pot of Greed.
And then he's like, no, you flips Uno reverse card.
Shit. Okay, anyways, that's Pokemon. Fucking Pokemon. A lot of shit coming out in between September and November to look forward to, man. Holy shit.
I'm very excited. We're gonna go from Shadowkeep. I'm gonna go from Shadowkeep to Pokemon, then back to Shadowkeep, and then back to Pokemon when Pokemon Bank comes out so I can finish my living decks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's game releases. One game that you got on the list here that's coming out this week.
Dragon Star Vernier, June 10th, PS4. It is an exclusive.
It's kind of scary that they would put a game out during the week of E3. I mean, there's probably going to be a couple of games that come out during E3. One of those, here's this cool game, and it's right now. And people are going to rush their phones. And we got 3 games that are coming out on this day in gaming, which is June 10th. Happy 3rd birthday to Kirby Planet Robobot, what came out for the 3DS in 2016. Coming out for the PC in 2009, making this game 10 years old. Happy birthday to Prototype. And last but not least, happy 14th birthday to GTA San Andreas, which came out pretty much on anything that could run it in 2005.
Yo, these games are old, dude.
Yeah, no
San
shit.
Andreas is 14,
but we're older, dude.
10 years. That's true. Sorry, I was just confirming there really isn't anything else coming out this week.
I mean, it is E3, so this is in fact probably the weekend that you don't want to put a game out. I mean, we're having the mega companies shake their asses at us and announcing like big news.
That's true.
If you try to slip a mid-budget, low advertising cut game out, it's like it's gonna get swept under the rug.
All right, and the last thing here is last week we had an interesting email.
Yeah, we got our second legitimate email, if you want to call it that, and we were originally hoping that it was the Nigerian prince of old, but it turns out they're not from Nigeria or Africa even. We got hit with a phishing thing that we responded to, partially intoxicated on the fucking podcast, and they responded back. And so I would like to read the message of our number 4 biggest fan,
Yes,
Miss Aviano Erman. She reads as follows: "Thank you so much for your mail and accepting my proposal. How is life over there? Hope you and your family are fine." She says this with a comma and then a period. "Sorry for contacting you without your permission, but I hope we can establish a good relationship since we are meeting for the first time." I didn't know we met, but okay. "About me." Oh, this is her biography. "I am Miss, not Mrs. I'm not married, single and looking. Miss Aviano Erman. I'm for Portugal, but I live in Spain." Wow. This story is deep. "I have a good heart." Remember that. "I have a good heart. I am very sincere and down to earth." Okay, so she's not an angel, so she's realistic. I am a loving heart. I'm a good heart. I have a loving heart and a very respectful and kind woman. I have a lot of love to give. My own religious is Catholic Christian. I thought she might have, Catholic Hebrew. Okay. I never judge others and am very compassionate. I love to appreciate the little things in life and am very respectful. I'm going to pause here real quick. Nick, what happens if this is a legitimate fan who's been listening to the podcast and not a scammer? What happens if I'm making fun of Miss Aviano Erman? I'm really scared. I'm going to take the step forward and say I'm doing it anyways.
The chances of that are microscopic.
But as much chance as getting money from this fine lady. Anyways, I know we are just knowing each other, but we can share ideas and discuss about important things and more issues as we talk about ourselves. I like to think positively, and I care about other people's feelings. Let me stop here for now, because I'm weak. Talk to you more at my next mail to you, expecting your reply with details about you soonest. Best regards, Miss Aviano Woman. So we have a woman who has a good and loving heart, who is compassionate and loving about others, and is a Catholic Christian. She had to stop her contact with us because she was weak at the time. She's sick. Nick, how are we gonna handle this?
I have no idea, because I'm just thinking, like, you brought up the point that there's a possibility that it's an actual fan, but then they haven't mentioned the show at least once.
True. And they want to know more about us, but they can't keep talking because they're weak. They're sick.
And yeah, so that point makes me think...
They have gaming disorder. That's what's going on. It's fucking terminal, man. It
makes me think that they ripped this off like an old letter from like the 1700s. And it's like when you'd actually have to write out a letter, and that would make sense. Like, oh, I'm weak. This is, I'll send you my next... You know what I mean? It's not even about the English. Like, I can't, like, that'd be super hypocritical of me. Like, I'm not even concerned about the English. It's just purely about the content. It makes no sense, and it's just abrupt, especially considering what our response was, which was, what was our first response?
Do you actually want me to look at our first response?
Yes, please.
Sure. Cold greetings. Contacting you privately. State your kind intentions. You can kick my ribs, which was the slogan that we picked randomly. Casual Master Quest. That was what we fucking sent it.
And this is what we got. No, this is definitely a bot or some sort of like phishing thing.
So you're gonna have to work with me here.
Yeah.
Give me random phrases to put into this thing, and I'm gonna freeform this beautiful response.
I need to thaw my chicken. The sky is crying. Gas is very expensive. My neighbor kicked my dog.
All right, I think I got this.
Okay.
Let's see.
Live on Casual Master Quest is exactly what we get up to sometimes.
Okay, and I'm gonna sign it. And then the nice thing about live is, they got to listen, but they get to hear it. Okay. So, to dearest Aviano Erman, we send our best regards for your diarrhea. I hope you come see us. Thaw chicken is a delicacy here. The skies cry for our return to here. Gas is really pensive. I didn't put expensive, pensive. How is your neighbor's dog? The shoes shine for your Catholic Casual Master Quest. I think we're going to make a connection here. What?
I love this shit.
Dialect off?
No, I love this shit. It's like there was a messaging app that one of my friends forced me to get because that was the only one that he would use to communicate. It was called Kick. And it was just filled with bots. Like all of these chat bots that would like put up conspicuous like links. Like the ones where you're just like a girl with like really like an attractive profile picture or whatever would message him like, hey, and then I'd be like, all right, you're a fucking bot, but let's drag this out and be like, hey, winky face. And go like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, nothing. How's it going? Like, nothing. I'm just sitting here naked. And like, oh, that's tight. Like, why don't you come to my stream? I really need the money. I'm like, okay, but what do you think about the issues surrounding, I don't know, fucking the genocide in I just go on and
the Tianjin massacre over in China. That will immediately disconnect them if they're from China. That'll be
and then they go on, you should really just please come to my stream. All right, but have you ever thought about how much food we're wasting? Well, that's kind of sad, but you should come to my... It'll just go on and on. I just fuck with
that
the pods.
Godzilla, if he were the pee, he would piss an average of 200 million gallons of urine every day.
Oh my god, you're so sensitive. Why don't you come watch my stream?
Do you have more facts about the bladder of Godzilla?
Come to my stream and tip me $10, I might tell you.
Disorderly conduct.
Anyways, Tyler,
Nick in the chat is suggesting real quick, and we'll do this next time to find a Mad Lib site. I will create a proper letter in response using your information combined with the Mad Libs I will find next time. That way that we can keep in contact with our news correspondent Aviana Orman and
reporting live from Spain on current events and important societal issues.
Right. She is so close to Ubisoft by about 1,000 miles, but she's closer than us, so sure, take what you can get.
She'll get us a hot scoop.
Yep, the hottest of scoops. And hopefully she won't end it by, asking for credit card details. Or I'll just ask her if she has PayPal. I don't know. We'll see.
I have an expired credit card.
I have also expired credit cards. I have actually active gas cards for previous truck companies, which I won't use because that would be malicious and I could get sued really quickly. Anyways, Nick, as you're asking, you can find me on Twitter at 2timestyler. All letters, one word, 2timestyler. Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter at LRWarrior11. You can find the show, Casual Master Quest, in a variety of places. You can email us as our lovely news correspondent, Miss Aviana Herman, casualmasterquest@gmail.com.
Way to slaughter a news anchor.
I apologize, Miss Herman. You can find us on...
She's compassionate. She has a gun and has a loving heart.
You can find us on Twitter at MasterQuestPod. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Casual MasterQuest. If you just look us up, we will pop right up. But yeah, any last words? Any final comments, Tyler?
Yeah, holy shit, E3 is going to be a fucking doozy, and I can't wait to tear it apart.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you very much for listening. This has been Casual Master Quest episode 53. I was your host for the episode, Nick, joined by my lovely, beautiful, strong, silent co-host. Not very silent, but funny sometimes. Maybe not so funny. Tyler, right there. And also with our...
Do I have to be silent?
You don't have to be silent. Or with with our...
Yeah, brother!
With our news correspondent from Spain, who is originally from Portugal, but she lives in Spain, Ms. Aviana Herman. Have a good day. I'm very excited for what's about to happen next week. It's going to be all the E3 news. Don't forget to never stop the grind.
We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. The intro to the podcast, titled Casual Master Quest, was paid for and produced by the wonderful talent Revelries Music. You can find more of their work at soundcloud.com/Revelries Music, or just click on the link in the show descriptions. The background music is the album Top 50 Best Classical Piano Music by Brilliant Classics. You can find out more about Creative Commons at www.creativecommons.org/license/by/4.0.